Okay. So welcome everyone. Welcome to ICT New South Wales and our webinar with Kai's Clan, who have joined us from across the ditch. And I want to say a very big thank you to them because it's 7:30 for us, but it's 9:30 for them. So thank you for staying up, guys, and coming to join us. Thanks everyone else for after a busy day, but yet the 10th last day of term. Thank you for giving your time up as well. This session is being recorded. It will be put onto the website. And so if you miss anything, you can go back over it, or feel free to connect with any of the board members to find out what you've missed out or anything that you need to know. So, so thank you. So let me introduce you to Bruce and Ronel.
Hey guys.
So Bruce, I met at the ACC conference at Randwick Racecourse in 2018, and he showed me this set of robots and how it could do a self-watering plant and how I could connect my robots with robots in someone else's classroom. And I guess I fell in love with the journey back then. It's been a hard road, I guess. From there, it's been a learning curve, but it's been a great learning curve. And the potential of Kai's Clan is amazing. And when we can get our heads around it all, there's lots of different things for lots of different age groups, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to let Bruce and Ronel tell you the backstory to it. And Ronel, I think I met you about 18 months ago, Ronel, and we've had coffee in Sydney, and they were at our conference back in March, and I think we just got them home as lockdown happened after our conference. We had one session at the conference, and so we've invited them back to have another go at this because some people have been asking me about it. And I thought, well, what better way to do it than Zoom it? So Bruce, I might hand over to you first. Can you tell us how you got into doing this adventurous journey?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start, I'll start sharing our screen this side, and I'll start that journey as well. So talking about that journey. So let's just start that up. And the audio. Yeah, we need audio. Thank you, Ronel. There we go. Okay, and run that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I've always been a bit of a hacker, a bit more than a hacker. I love computers. I love technology. You know, that's my passion. I've hacked my own Toyota car for self-driving. A lot of people go, they don't believe it. Ronel's been in it, and she fears for her life every time, I guess.
I'm coming to New Zealand just to check out your car, by the way.
You're welcome.
When the border's open.
Make sure your insurance is paid up. Yeah, so, you know, so I just love robotics. And I was, you know, I was going to schools and seeing in a primary school environment, seeing my son starting to learn coding. And I visited the school on an open day, and actually I was really disappointed at what was being taught, because basically the kids were just using their thumbs to drive around, you know, typical standard robots. And I thought there's got to be something more. And I visited the next year, and the same thing was happening. And I'm like, no, you know, kids can do this at home on their Xbox or on their computer games. And I was really passionate, and I wanted something that teaches new technologies that are currently being used in industry. Not line following robots. Line following is not used in industry. It was invented 24 years ago. And Amazon Warehouse don't use it. Alibaba, so the two biggest companies in the world, don't use line following. And actually, they actually use the same QR code type style that we use in Kai's Clan. So I wanted a product that was easy to use, but had a very wide scope. And I think that's what we've managed to do with Kai's Clan. Right, so let's get rolling, because that's enough about me.
Okay, so what is Kai's Clan? Kai's Clan is a STEM toolbox. And what that means is that teachers can actually go and choose what they want to do. So what their levels of expertise, what is in the curriculum, what kind of lessons. So we have got VR, we've got AR, it's multiplayer coding. We've got really simple Internet of Things, our sensors, there's AI. So there's a lot of things like Bruce is saying. We created a low floor with a high ceiling. Let's try and get that next slide. Right. So when we looked at our competitors, everybody obviously is using sensors and data, but it can be quite challenging. So, you know, if you have an Arduino, it can sometimes take you a whole week to just try and get a light switch on. So we said, no, you know, there has to be an easier way. So we created with our sensors and data a really, really simple way of connecting sensors. We then have physical mats, so you can teach them coordinates. We use Minecraft and Tinkercad, AR, VR, but everything sits on the cloud. So this is where we have this true collaboration where you can actually code the robots from Australia sitting here in New Zealand. So when we talk to teachers, you know, what are they looking for? It's about the integrated lesson plans. So it's really important for us to make sure that there's lesson plans, but it also give you the scope to go and create your own lessons. We have student management, so you can remote access your students' pages or their code and go and help them. Like I said, cross-curricular across the different mats, real-time collaboration. We standards aligned with New South Wales, and we're working on ICTENSW at the moment. And then it's a multiplayer platform. So when we then looked at, you know, what do students want? Well, the students, what they want is they want to have that whole creativity. So they can go and create their own robot avatars. There is lesson plans for them as well. It's multiplayer. There's real world scenarios in our lessons. And then there should be a video. And there's a very easy to use platform that includes the sensor bits.
So my name's Alex. I'm from Tasmania, Australia. I attend Rose Bay High School and I'm in year 9. When I use Kai's Clan, I really like that I can use the robots from anywhere in the world. I could use the robots in Australia, or I could be in America or Asia coding the same robots on the same mat at the same time. So when I was using Kai's Clan, I coded a project where I had one robot who had to deliver water to a burning space station to put the fire out. And I also had another robot who had to go replenish the water after the other one had used it to try to put out the fire. And it was really fun to try to work out how I had to navigate around Mars, and you know, to figure out which different buildings needed to be on fire, which ones had the water supplies, and what the actual block was that I was carrying.
So it's not just another yellow robot. But before we go anywhere else, how about we're going to give some prizes away tonight?
Yep. We'll give away one of these things.
So you can see our little LED badges, and we'll put your name on it. So you need to pay some attention because we're going to ask a couple of questions afterwards. So, right, what's next?
So when we were designing Kai's Clan, purely by accident, and you know, accidents have taught me the best lessons in life. My father used to say, as long as you don't replicate that same accident twice. But this was a good accident, and we basically found out that we could create a virtual world sitting on top of the physical mat. And this meant that it's like a sandwich. You've got a layer of bread, which is your physical mat, and then you've got a virtual layer like the ham sitting on top of the sandwich. So yeah, so we can use Minecraft, Tinkercad, and I think even Karen's using Lego, so creating a Lego buildings and then creating Minecraft buildings on top of that. So it doesn't have to be like a tiny thing, but it can be used in high schools as well. So on the left-hand side here, it's quite a interesting photograph, this one. You've got some kids on the floor coding the robots. You've got a girl on the kneeling on the mat. She's moving elements around. You've got another girl on an iPad. She's looking at a piece of paper with a mat printed on it. And she's seeing those physical robots in a virtual sense moving around. Another girl coding as well. So multiple device, yeah. And we can also use augmented reality. So here you see iPad holding that up, and the mat turns into a virtual world. So wherever the robot moves around, your virtual actor or avatar also moves around. In this short little clip here, you see 3 bits of movement. The first one is a hot air balloon. Now that hot air balloon, one student is coding that with the orbit going around. So we can use a lot of mathematics. The other 2 little characters on there are physical robots that are moving. So wherever the robot moves, the character moves.
I know we had a question about the virtual reality, which headsets. Thanks for some of those questions, Karen, that you sent through. So we support the Oculus Go and all the Google Cardboard and Merge as well. So that's where you can see Kai's plan.
Yeah, Android or iOS, Google Cardboard app. Yeah. Now, probably my favorite bit of Kai's plan that I love the most is the ability to add on sensors. Now, we support over 35 different sensors. Now, the important thing here is in a typical classroom, if you've been doing Arduino or anything, Raspberry Pis or microbits, but especially the Arduinos and the Raspberry Pis, we want the, how do I say this? We wanted a product that was easy for the students to learn about sensors and use sensors and look at the data from sensors without getting bogged down in the text-based coding. Text-based coding is very important, and we will be adding this to Kai's plan, but the ability to, for me to reinforce that, the ability for kids to have a strong, passion or a strong ability to be able to collect sensor data from a pH sensor or whatever type of sensor you give them with 2 lines of code, and then they can do some really powerful things. And to me, that's a good leap, forward for those students to give them a lot of confidence. So when they do get into Arduino, it goes, hey, well, I did this pH sensor with Kai's Clan, and let me see if I can add that, add on to that and expand that in Arduino or Raspberry Pi. And then they learn how difficult it is, to do these things, but it gives them the confidence. They know they can, they just got to figure it out in the code.
So here it looked like you hacked that little motherboard. Where's the rest of the robot?
So that little circuit board there is basically Kai's Clan's brains. You can take it out, very easy. It's versatile. You can put it in your pocket and carry it around with you with your mobile phone. And any data any sensor that you've attached to that circuit board there can be sent through to Kai's Clan. And I think in the demonstration later on, we'll show you the versatility of this connecting Australia and New Zealand together. And we also include support the BBC microbit.
So my name is Susan Bowler. I'm a teacher in Hobart, Tasmania. I've been involved with robotics for 10 years. I sit on the International Robotics Committee. I'm president of RoboCup Junior Australia. So the difference between Kai's Clan and all the other little robots that I saw at that conference is that Kai's Clan is fully collaborative within the classroom, between the classrooms, but we'll be able to do the same projects via distance, and that is strong. That's never been seen before. This collaboration via internet and the cloud just doesn't exist. We think that Kai's Clan could also become a very good competitive platform for our students in the future because it's inexpensive. You don't have to put a lot of money into the game, but you get a lot of learning out of it through the programming.
So obviously Susan is a great supporter, and hopefully next year, Karen, we're going to try and do a bit of a Mars Global Challenge and see how we get on with that.
We are indeed.
So when we look at our lesson plans, so we've got about 40 plus lesson plans. So they're cross-curricular across the various mats. So we've got different mats, and you can do science or social studies or literacy. We've got social emotional learning lessons. Once you've done the lessons that is part of Kai's Clan, you can also go and then create your own lessons. So for the teachers, there's a lesson plan, and then when students actually log in, there's a guideline for them of what they need to do. And then, like I said, go and create your own project and then share that with the community. So here you'll see Kai's Clan is aimed at 7 to 15 years of age. So we've broken it up into junior, intermediate, and expert lessons. And these little pink purple blocks at the bottom is sort of the roles of the robots. So for instance, the COVID lesson, you can go and design your elderly person and teenager, and we did the whole thing of how you got together and then you got the virus and then you had to get away from each other. So and that continues. And obviously our really brand flagship lesson is our fire rescue lesson, which Patricia has worked on, and that's the Australian lesson. So this was done high school, her year 10s did this, and they actually had to come up with a world scenario. So during the terrible fires that you guys had, they said, well, how can we save the kangaroos? So they did a multiplayer coding lesson in the virtual world that looked really, really good. Here you'll see obviously the curriculum, New South Wales, but we really try and focus on all the other states as well and see what we can do. So like we said, we created a low floor with a high ceiling, and there is space within every task. There's different ways that you can complete these lessons, and it's really easy. If you've never coded, we've actually got coding cards that comes out of how just to move your block forward. So there's really a whole range of lessons, you know, what to do with each sensor, or you can go all the way to logic statements, multiplier. So definitely I would say in high school you can still use it. And that's why I said it's multi-grade levels. So if I just quickly go over the product overview. So we've got the starter pack. So I need to do a little quick bit of sales video here.
Yeah.
I'll be very quick. So 4 robots is in the start pack. It comes with a fast charge, 1 hour fast charge, and you get 4-hour playtime, not like some of our other friends.
Play nicely.
There's a little box of sensors with a 4-pack, 9 sensors come in, and you get the rescue run mat. So this is like castles, and if you want to, you can load dragons and things. And then we have our classroom kit. So this is probably the most popular one. So this is 12 robots. And it comes with a nice big box of sensors, including the water pump, which Bruce is hopefully not going to spill all the water over my computer tonight. And we have a Mars mat and a warehouse mat that comes with the classroom kit. You can then obviously purchase some more mats. And it's these mats, that's where the virtual worlds lie. So it's really high quality. They're very durable. You can put it in the washing machine and use the mat. So they're about 1 meter by 1 meter. So you'll see the warehouse mat. We've got the rescue run mat. There's a smart city mat, so a whole bunch of lessons for that. And the Mars mat.
And don't forget the create mat, which is used for chess and snakes and ladders and all sorts of other games. Yeah.
So there's some new stuff that's happening. I know Adrian is already starting to play some chess, and we can't wait to do a New Zealand Australian chess challenge. So with the onboarding, every school that buys a kit, we are there to help and support you. So we will help you with online setup. And we'll just throw another prize. If anybody buys Kai's Clan in the next week, we'll just put this in, and the next week we will offer you 2 hours free training. So we'll help you with professional development and walk you through the whole thing. The boss just gave me that look, but I'm sure it's fine.
No, that's fine.
We'll do some webinars, and we've got some YouTube tutorials on every single element on KaiSclan, and then there's a 12-month warranty for all the products, or for all the bits and pieces. So our qualifiers, we were very proud. We got the topic for learning at ISTE last year. I'm sure everybody knows how easy it is to get onto the New South Wales Department of Education, but perseverance, we're there. We'll be featured in Heidi Williams, who is a great curriculum specialist for ISTE. She's bringing out her new book, and we'll be in her book.
Donnelly here in Texas in the US, and I love talking to KaiSclan because they always have the craziest ideas. You can really throw anything at them, and somehow they always come through with a way to figure it out. They have such an amazing platform for you to be able to share and learn with your students, and your students have a chance to really be the creators of content, not just learning how to code and not seeing that code come to life, but really even developing your own 3D content and pulling it in and having gameplay and opportunities for your students to see those things come to life, both in augmented, virtual, and even in the 3D on your computer. So it's so wonderful to see the cross-platform opportunities for our kids and using this amazing immersive technology resource with KaiSclan. So I hope you guys have a chance to check it out.
Okay, so that's enough of all the talking. Let's have some fun. Let's just have a look at some of the questions.
All right, what have we got here?
So I'm using it in small groups. These groups are 2 to 3 students. However, it can easily be done individually. That's true. So it's like a spaceship. You know, not everybody is the driver. Everybody's the astronaut. You need a whole big team. So we've got students, or we've got schools that have 2 to 3 kids per robot, or 2 per robot. So it just really depends what your budget is and how you can do, you know, let the students then experience. Because some can code, some can do the data, some can be creative and create all the avatars. So there's a lot to do for everybody.
I think Karen and Adrian have been answering most of the questions.
Cool. Okay, I hope that will appear as part of our STEM team for our loan kits.
Yes, we're working on, we're very close. So hopefully that'll appear soon. Sharon, yeah.
This question about stage 5, I gonna have to ask either.
Ask Adrian. I've asked Adrian to have a think about stage 5 for us. So Adrian, if you want to jump in on that question, please.
Sure. I introduced augmented reality, virtual reality to my stage 5 students using sorry, but I used a different one because we weren't up to KaiSclan just yet. And we found it really limiting. The kids really like that there is multiple directions to go in with KaiSclan, so that they are designing stuff. We just got a new 3D printer, so hey, it matches in really well. And they really like that some different kids have different strengths. So they like virtual reality, they like the augmented reality. And those who like to code, the purists, they can code. And so it matches when they're working together, collaborating. It's all about design and coding. I have found it the best tool. And even today we were talking about it with the Create map. And chess, they're really keen to, because chess is becoming a big thing at my school, so they're really keen to go on another level with virtual reality chess. And so all the shapes that they can create and the gameplay and doing it internationally is just mind-blowing to them. But it makes it really real and possible, and it's not complicated for a teacher to learn. And the kids can sort of nut it out a bit as well. So when we all work together, the kids have such a good time. Stretches them.
I think too, although the JavaScript is still on its way as far as text-based coding goes, there's so much else to do with KaiSclan that hits a lot of the outcomes in stage 4 and stage 5.
It does.
That you need to move past the coding for the time being, because there's so much else that we need to teach beyond coding. And there's a whole heap of design thinking challenges and systems thinking outcomes that we can meet through Kai's Clan.
Yes.
The JavaScript, once you're into the teacher section, you can actually see the JavaScript printout. Now, the kids can't manipulate that at the moment, but it's coming. And if it was my class, I would be copying and pasting all of that code and giving it to the kids, and then getting them to break it down and tell us, what bits what and what does this do, and all the ins and outs of the code, so that they at least can see it in especially in stage 4, those kids who've come from primary school with no coding practice, or those students who are developmentally not ready for text-based coding, because we do have them in our Year 7 classes. You can get them to do it in block-based coding, and then get them to look at the JavaScript and say, well, how does this work? So until we get the actual ability to code with the text-based that's coming, hey, once the text-based coding's in this is an awesome, awesome piece of...
But even before the text-based coding is in, the kids really like it because it's so multifaceted. And that gets them thinking enough to be able to do the design work, which is really important when you're coding, and to be able to have different devices all going at the same time. And so I think when the text-based coding comes in, it'll be fantastic. And then I think it could even go to students who struggle in stage 6 in software, because I teach software design as well. And so the ones who really struggle and need a practical hands-on coding device, they'll have that as well. So I don't think it's limited to stages. I think the faster we use it and play with it and discover its boundaries, the more that we'll be able to stretch the boundaries as well. So I don't know. I think this is going to be such a good tool.
A game changer.
Like a pencil. What's the end result of a pencil? Anything you can think of.
And that's why we, call it a STEM toolbox, because it really is that. I mean, if you want to do one thing, you can go off this tangent or another one, or or blend them all together.
I mean, we've even got the university, and they look just at all our data, and they just play because we've got so much of our sensor data that's coming in and what they can do with that. But why don't we jump onto a live demo and then show you what it looks like?
Right. So let's just give a bit of background on this demo, because it might bend your brain a bit.
Can I just say that most of the people online here are high school teachers?
Okay, so that's good. Well, it still will bend your brain, because I promise you, even for me, who does this day to day, sometimes I go, what is going on? So, okay, so we're in New Zealand, okay. Karen is sitting, I don't know, where are you sitting? At home, or you're at home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
You're at home. Now you've got a mat at home.
I do. I brought it home from school.
And you've got a couple of robots on that mat?
I've got one at the moment.
One robot on the mat, okay. Now, you'll see there's a video feed in Zoom called AR. And that is sitting in New Zealand with a couple of robots on that. So there's another video feed called Bruce Jackson. I don't know why we can't rename that one. But that is the 3D world of the physical mat. So what you'll see is when we start coding the robots, you'll see those virtual robots moving around tied together with the physical robot. So let me share my screen. Okay, please do interrupt. I don't think there's too many people around, so feel free to stop me and interrupt and ask questions. Okay, so here you go. We've got robots 8 and 16. These two robots are sitting in New Zealand. Karen's robot, I think yours is robot 6, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so cool. And I can see your temperature in your house is 20.3 degrees Celsius. That sounds about right. Okay. And you'll be asking, like, how do we get these things. So where's Karen? Here we go. Robot. What for? Robot was she? No, robot 6.
6. Yep.
Robot 6. Okay, we'll just save that. Okay.
Do you want to tell them about how easy it was to get the student management and stuff?
Not really. I'll come to that later. Just hold on. So
That's not interesting.
yeah, that's not interesting. Okay, so the robots that we've got on our mat now, what we can do is, like what we're going to be doing with Adrian, is having a game of chess using Kai's Clan, and basically we can join multiple mats together. So if Karen had her mat running, so you can see there Karen, robot 6, if she had her mat running, we'll see her robot on our New Zealand mat, and when she's logged in now, she sees our robots on her mat. But when we say that, we're combining the physical and the virtual together. So that's the beauty about Kai's Clan. When you saw that student talking about his fire on Mars and checking the moisture or the temperature, whatever, he'll be referring to real values that he's getting from the temperature. So Karen's got a temperature sensor plugged into the back of her robot, and we're getting real-time data coming from that. So we'll do a little bit of coding there. Right. Yes, it's block-based coding, but it's pretty advanced. So we can do AI navigation on here. We've got, let's just do that, special. So let's go into expert mode. So go motion, AI navigation. And so I can just say to a robot, very simply, one line of code, go to the receiving depot on this warehouse mat. And the robot, robot 8, would then drive through to the receiving depot. Because once we've learned how to move a robot, do we need to have how to spend pages and pages of code doing that? Then what else? So what I'm going to do is, using Karen's code, we're going to do something together, which we discussed earlier. And I'm trying to remember what that was, Karen. It was to check.
I'm going to be very COVID safe and breathe on my robot to make the temperature go up.
Okay.
So that we can grow that plant.
And then I'm going to use a water pump. So I've got a robot over here set up. So let me just stop sharing, and we'll just turn this camera around. So this is what I've got set up here. So I've got a little robot, Kai robot. The back of him is plugged into a water pump, and there's a submersible water pump here, and that's going to pump water into the little jar here. So we're going to run some code, and I'm going to show you how simple it is. Now we're going to base the pumping of this water based off Karen's humidity. Share screen. Okay. So 89. So we can see Karen's robot is sitting at around 89% humidity. Down here we can see the value. We're going to go environmental. I've just got to think this through because I'm doing this on the fly. Okay, let's expand this window. So if Karen's robot, which is 6, Karen, so the nice thing is it shows you the robot, the student name as well. And then we want a math block, and is greater than, say, 90% humidity. So if Karen's robot's humidity sensor is greater than 90%, then we're going to do bits action, and we're going to turn on my water pump, which is on robot 1, at 50% power. Let's put it up to 100% power for, say, 2 seconds, and then we will do an else. So if it's true, if it's not true, then we will turn off the pump. We'll put it at 0% for 0 seconds. Makes sense, yeah. So we'll turn off the pump. But now another thing is, what we've got is we've got a virtual world. So I'm going to just run this quickly and then see where we go with that. Now, Karen, so
I'm going to go get my robot off the mat.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully I've got this set up wrong.
So here's my robot with a temperature sensor. Oops.
Okay, so let me just get video. Okay, so we want to bring that camera closer. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So, Karen, if you proceed to breathe on it, just click
Very
on.
COVID safe.
So we can see the humidity. There we go. And there's the green juice going into the thing. So stop breathing, Karen, otherwise we're going to overflow the tank.
Flood in New Zealand.
Yeah, flooding New Zealand. We've got water rationers, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doesn't make sense. I don't know. So it will take quite some time because there's still moisture on the sensor. So that'll take quite a long time to drop below 95%.
I'll turn the aircon on for a while.
Right. So yeah, so you can see, I'm just going to stop that because it's really annoying. Sounds like, yeah. So you can see there that we were getting real-time data from Karen's robot sitting here in New Zealand. I could be anywhere and I could be doing this. I can actually make Karen's robot sing a little tune. Let's do that. Because I'm a teacher account, I can make a little Simpson sound. Whoop. I think your robot is robot 6. No. Why can't I I've done the wrong one, haven't I? See, it's not an add-on, it's built in. So 6 Simpsons.
My students like doing this one.
Yeah, so that's Karen's robot buzzing away while I'm coding it from New Zealand. So I can drive it around on her mat. She can drive around on my mat. Great for distance roboting. Roboticizing. What? Is there such a word? Okay, just made a word up.
Before you go, do you want to explain the Excel in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so great. So we've got all this data. We've been monitoring this data. So I just click on the little Excel icon here. Thanks, Karen. And yeah, you can see that all right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so you are a robot. Now you'll see now this is a Google Sheet and it's got all the different robots in it here. So it's got sensors, positions, and batteries. So that's for robot 16. Whoops, come on, zoom window. So let's just keep on paging. Zoom window, come on. No, that doesn't move. Hold on. I just mustn't move my mouse below the certain point. So we're just looking for robot. What were you? Robot 6.
Yeah.
Here we go. Robot 6 sensors. So now if we come down here, you can see we're starting to get the temperature and the humidity from Karen's robot. So roughly about 4 times a second, we're capturing data from the robot. So their positions, where the robot was on the mat, a whole lot of data. So if you love data and graphing, this is great. Okay, so let me just put that to text to columns, delimited, and comma. I'm just spreading these values out, so we've got 2 columns for it. I think, what? Yeah, okay, here we go. So this is our humidity column, so I'm just going to type that in there, humidity. And we'll see, like further down here, this is where we're starting to get all the data. So you see the humidity has gone up to 95, 90, 90. I think we started with 89. 89, yeah. So, I mean, just without spending too much time here, I could basically just, let me just kill this. So the left-hand column is the temperature. And if I just grab that and say I wanted to just graph on that data, I could just come into data, insert, recommended chart. I know we don't have a recommended chart. Okay, we'll just do one quickly. That's the wrong one. Damn it, don't you love it when a plan comes together? Okay, let's try that again, because I don't have a heading for it. Yeah, there. Okay, it all looks the same. It is the same. I've just selected a small pool of sample of data, but very easily I can then go and graph that data and then analyze. And if you're doing a Mars lesson, and you could say, well, what's the battery life, or what was the position information? So if we go to another robot here, what have we got? Robot, what's our ones? Robot. Oh, here we go. So 8. So where was the robot on its X and Y axis on the mat? So we can analyze that. We can see the angle that the robot was facing. We can see the distance traveled and the total distance that robot moved. So there is a lot of data in Excel that you can download.
Show how easy it is to put.
Yeah. So if we wanted to put a different sensor on, it's super easy. The robot has 2 ports at the back of it, and you can choose between a green or yellow port. And I'm sure, like Karen, can vet for this, but like, you want a motion sensor, you want a collision sensor, you want a UV sensor, pH sensor, water pumps. There's loads, and you just basically just click on it, click save, the robot will beep, and that's it. It's provisioned.
And these all come with a classroom kit as well. So.
Yeah, well, a lot of them come with a classroom kit. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, what about the fun things? I know
fun
you like your
things.
sensors,
I
but
love
can
the
we
sensors.
get creative and get a little bit of Tinkercad or Minecraft? Show them.
Okay, so we've got a warehouse mat on the floor here. So if we can load the virtual viewer. Now this virtual viewer is available on the app stores, so Android or Apple.
And it's free.
And it's free, yeah. And we don't have any subscriptions, so there's no subscription costs. Right, so you can load this virtual view from anywhere. From anywhere on the internet. If you're doing distance learning, you can have students at home coding robots that are sitting in the classroom. Parents can be watching the coding lesson come to life from work. So yeah. Right, so here you can see we got a mixed up. Okay, so here we can see robot 16. This is just a virtual robot, but I would change this robot for a forklift. So we can either go into Tinkercad or Minecraft. So using 3D printing, you can even do that kind of stuff. And we can search for, let's say, a truck. Let's see, we've got a library of thousands of models. So you can come along and then just add this truck in there, and then you can add that into Kai's Clan, and then that becomes your robot avatar or robot actor. So I won't go through this process, but basically you can see I've got a whole bunch of characters in here, and I can just assign that. So robot 16, we want you to be, let's go this horse, this chess horse. So robot 16, allocating, saved. And now you'll see the robot going through a bubble bath, and now he's the horse character. So it's like playing it's like doing a play, an actual play. You're all prepping. Each student is working on their own characters, and you can see the different students in here. Let me just move into the sandbox because I think that's clearer. So again, this is a blank canvas mat. So robot 16 again with different characters on the mat. Yeah. What am I not explaining, Karen?
I'm not showing the animations and effects.
Okay, well that's what I was going to do. That's what I was going to do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use Karen's.
It is like getting close to 10:30 at night for you.
Yeah. And
It's okay. I think I prefer him at 10:30 at night than 7 o'clock in the morning after 3 cups of coffee.
no, I've lost my focus now. Okay, so Sandbox here. Sandbox allows us to create and really, get our creative spirit on and create your own environments in here. So what we're going to do is, didn't we have a pot plant in here somewhere? Oh, yeah.
You have a pot plant in there, yes.
So what is this? Who's this guy? This is Okay, we'll do it on this guy, 101. Okay, so we're assigning the pot plant to 101 because we want that pot plant to grow when it's watered. And that's hence when our water pump comes into effect. So again, I would just go, damn, yeah, my brain's going slow at this time of the night. What was
Logic?
It's a transform. Yeah, it was a transform, wasn't it? Scale by. So we're going to scale that by.
Scale by 200 on the Z-axis.
Didn't we scale it by the height of your temperature or something? I might use a math block. Let's just have. It's a bit of experimenting. Remember, I haven't practiced this. Okay, so robot number 6, Karen.
Yep.
What am I doing in the remainder of math? I need to divide it by. Oh, here we go. I think this value might be a bit high, but we'll just see what it looks like. And it's on the 80. So we're going to scale 101. So on the mat, you can print out little QR codes and stick them down. So this is not a robot. This is just a QR code sitting on the mat. So let's just run this and see, oops, what's the error? Remember we changed the sensor on your robot, Karen. Robot number 6. Let's minimize this. And it was a temperature.
Yep. It's happy again.
Okay, so let's run that and we'll open this up again. Whoa. Okay.
wrong access there.
Okay, I think we inverted the robot. We're not the robot, we inverted that. Okay, that's a bit too small amount. So if we stop this code. So a really good thing of, what's that? +1. Oh, okay. Maybe times 10 or something, I don't know. So because we're shooting in the dark here, what we really want to do is use a print block. I always tell students to use the print block, but there you go. I'm not using it myself. So print block will allow me to see what the value is. So if we just run that again now, and undefined. I need to change this to a value. God, what did I do last time?
It wasn't quite so complicated last time.
It wasn't, was it? No.
You just said when the temperature.
We did practice everyone on Friday afternoon.
Got to something, then it would
Got
grow.
to our scale. Yeah, so we're scaling it on the Z. What am I doing wrong?
We said if the temperature gets higher, then it will scale it on the Z. So we did a.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah.
That's why you collaborate and have partners.
Yeah. Because I got a little bit nervous there, and I'm like on the fly. I'm like, what? Okay, so if
That's it. Yeah.
if this is greater
Then 90.
we need a math block.
Yeah.
0 than 90, then
Scale.
that. take that out, take that out. Scale that by 200.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Okay, so let's maybe we should just reset that.
So the teachers got some features as well where they can actually go and mute all sound, or they can load the background. So you can actually create a bit of your own environment as well. So you can trail, paint, and all sorts of things that you can do. You can actually load a 360 video as well in your environment. So there's a lot that you can do, real multiplayer, multi-device, and just be a lot of what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, but I'm sure the teachers will know how to do this better than what we're doing at the moment.
I'm failing in so many ways. Okay, let's try this. 109. Okay, there's a pot plant. Is it going to grow? Okay, Karen, do you want to try blowing on your pot plant? I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
it grew.
Better.
Okay, so I need to go and do my homework next time and prep, and then I'll figure out how to get the value of this into there so that it grows depending on the value of the humidity. Now, I could also have my water pump running there, and then when we do the water pump, then I can say play effect on rain, blue rain, and on robot number one, object number 109, when it's idle, and play a sound, rain 109. So you can attach different effects and sounds and all sorts of things. So just stop that and run that again.
And this is where the collaboration is. So students can code their own robots, but they can interact and add effects on any of the QR codes or other people's robots. So this is where they have to collaborate and work together to do their lessons and yeah, come up with some new ideas. Right. Some the JavaScript. Can you just show? Because obviously some of the high school.
Yeah.
Before we jump onto projects.
Yeah. Let's close this. Whoop. Right. So JavaScript here. We got the JavaScript. So that updates as you click in code. It updates in real time there. We've got a console log so we can debug and see what's going on. We've got the robot manager, so you see the real-time battery of what the robot is, the sensors. You've got your student management, so you can assign robots to students or groups of students. I can actually remote control. Karen, are you logged in?
Yep.
Okay, so I can take over control of your coding interface, just your coding, not your whole computer, just your coding. And now you can tell me what you see just now.
On my screen?
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to get Zoom out of the way. I can see a pot plant and it's raining in the warehouse.
Oh, you're in the view. Okay. So if you're logged into the coding, then what you'd be seeing then is a little game that the kids can play while the teacher's fixing up the code. So this enables the teacher to be able to fix up the code for the student and makes comments on here. And then you can release that code back to the student. We've also got, Ronel can talk about projects.
Okay, so obviously, sorry, I'm just going to move Karen a little bit. So we've got my projects, which is where students can save their work so that when they come back, that code is obviously saved. These are the different lessons that we've got on our mats. So for example, if we look here at the warehouse mat, so this is probably more for high schools, and we may say, okay, let's look at some advanced automation, expert lesson. Let's look at the drone bot. What do they need to do? So it loads some sample code here. The students still need to go and work out what needs to be done. And then this little question mark will then show them so this is the teacher guidelines and lesson plan for the teacher. So it's about a 40-minute lesson. It shows you the importance, the resources, things to consider, what the robot needs to do, the computer, and it runs through the whole code, what needs to be done, the criteria and the outcome. If a student logs in, they get a little bit more, what is advanced automation? There's a YouTube video that plays, and then it breaks down what they need to be able to do for their lesson. So we've got 40 different lessons, and then once you've done all those lessons, you can actually go and then add your project. And then once you do your project, it all goes into our community. And this is where you'll see, some Russians, they're busy doing some coding. We've got people from Cyprus, they're busy loading 20 lessons as well. Or you can ask us and you can, come onto the Kai's lessons and you can add some of the lessons coming here. So that's our projects. Any questions?
How you going, Bruce and Ronel?
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. So a question I have, obviously you can load videos through Kai's Clan. Could you just demo how that is done? Because I know, a lot of teachers would potentially want to be able to include videos within the platform. I know to remove them, you use the teachers only section of the coding, but it'd be also good to know that as well, because it's good to be able to show the teacher functionalities that we have.
Is that, do you refer to in the lesson plans or inside the virtual viewer?
Inside the virtual viewer, because the lesson plans have that pretty well explained, but how it then appears in the virtual viewer.
Okay, so currently we've disabled YouTube, not YouTube videos from the virtual viewer. We've had a bit of an issue. The thing is, we're trying to be cross-platform. So we have the virtual viewer in the browsers. We have the virtual viewer on multiple different browsers, as well as on Android and iOS as well as on Chromebooks. So currently the video is not working across all of the platforms. So therefore it hasn't made the cut to come back into, we did have it, but we took it out just briefly while we fixed that issue. However, you can add skyboxes. So what you'll see is in Sandbox, you've got a teacher only function. Remember, Kai's Clan's a multiplayer function, so we need to control certain elements in the environment. So like the teacher can change the sun color, change the environments, change the theme. So if you load a skybox, then you can then take any photograph and put that as your background in the virtual view. In terms of lesson plans, you can add video links into the lesson as well. Does that answer half the question, Brian?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think that there's so many different things you can do within Kai's Clan that I'm only really just discovering myself.
Yeah. So this is the
one of the things we can try out, Brian, is if we get to do our joint Mars Day into next term, we can throw all this together and collaborate on that, and then share it with the rest of the ICT New South Wales community.
Sounds good.
So there's a space skybox, what we call a skybox, or a 360 photograph. So you can add those in there. You can change the themes. So we've got let's say space. So if you run that, so this is what we call our sandbox thing. So this is our space theme now. We've got terrain.
Some blocks.
Yeah. So we've also got a terrain builder. So let's see. Did you know about the terrain builder, Brian?
That would be a no, I think.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just run this on Robot 8. So Robot 8 is now going to be a terrain builder. Whoop, here we go. So just give him a couple of seconds. So there we go. So now he's building a terrain in space. So wherever the robot drives, he's building that. Now I can
kind of like Minecraft with robots.
Yeah, and there's 2 layers I can build on as well. So let me just
especially if you are using Minecraft blocks to build it.
Mm.
So now, yeah, so we've got 2 layers for this. And then we've also got paint trails. So Ronel, what's the other robot number? 16. Bill, okay, just hold on. Let's let me just put yeah, okay, so let's just put 60 seconds. So I don't know if you guys have done VR paint.
I haven't.
So let's just load a couple of different things. There's a lot of stuff in here, so it's really up to you what you want to do. Okay, so let's run some more stuff here. So Robot 16 has got paint trails now. So if we can find, here we go, Robot 16. So there's chat. So you can have tell a story. Here it's painting a trail. So wherever the robot goes, it will show the trail. Carry on painting, Ronel. I don't know what that is, a 7. Oh, it's a triangle or something. Oh, it's an A. Very creative A.
Multi-level A.
Multi-level A, yeah.
It's an A for let's draw the prizes, Bruce.
There is a good question there, Bruce, about the New South Wales DET, and their network.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah. Look, Kai's Clan is it's a miracle. I promise you. I'm amazed by our developers that they've been able to sew so much different types of technologies together. But comes with a lot of complexities. But we are making it much easier to get started with and get going. We do, from time to time, we do get a school that has issues. I know Karen's been, with us for a long time now, and it's just getting better and better and better. And every day, Brian, you pointed out an issue last week, and we've now cracked that, so we fixed that. So yeah, we are compatible. To answer the question, yes, it does work in New South Wales Department of Education. And you know what the harder one was? It was Queensland.
Oh, really?
Impossible. And yes, it works in Queensland as well. Yes.
Sorry, Bruce, just on that, can I just say that as soon as you have a difficulty with anything that Kai's Clan has, they're more than open to receiving a phone call or email to say, hey, this has gone really badly in my lesson, please fix.
Yeah. And look, I mean, it makes a better product. The more you complain to us about issues, the more we can fix those issues, and the better the product becomes for everyone. Belinda asked about CSV. Yes, it does export a CSV. So you'll have a lot of data there, Belinda. You got 35 sensors that can dump data down for you, robot positions. Yep. What else?
Just on another note, we've got Patricia Katsiris working from Hurstville Boys at the moment, and she was at Kingsgrove North earlier this year, and we've successfully got all the robots working in both those schools. So and they're both DT schools.
Prizes.
Right. Karen, can you do a close your eyes and pull out a name?
On your but
I'll tell you what, I'll just go round and round on my screen and close my eyes and landing on this one. Now I can't even find my mouse. Oh, it's on Adrian.
Oh no!
Redraw.
Yeah, we can't do that. I'll stick down to the bottom half of the screen to avoid board members as well.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll ask a question. Can the people that's still on there in the chat just give us a couple of features or benefits from Kai's Clan that you thought was pretty cool?
Yeah. What are your best features of Kai's Clan?
We'll give a couple of a minute or so on the chat and then go from there.
So just while we're there, Bruce and Ronel are reading all the answers now. So currently Adrian, Patricia, Brian, myself are all using Kai's Clan in our classrooms everywhere from stage 3 through to stage 5, checking out the possibilities and what can be done. So everybody has had their teething problems with it, and it's different in every school. But with the support of Ronel and Bruce, they've been easily solved. So I'm currently working with Year 6, where we've done a term-long project that will go into next term on a mission to Mars. We've used the stuff from NASA, we've used Minecraft to build structures, and we're exporting them into Kai's Clan. We've learnt how to use the Kai's Clan robots. We started off mat because for Year 6, jumping all into the Blockly code, into the mat and the VR AR was just too overwhelming for most of them, especially those that needed support at the bottom end. We worked off mat for a few weeks in just a single IT lesson, and per week that is. And we did challenges, and then we videoed them. We talked about the code. We had a look at the JavaScript just to say that this is where it heads when you get older. Then we went into Minecraft to create our structures. We're about to export them by next week, so that next term we're ready to fly off to Mars with all our supplies from Minecraft to establish a colony on Mars. So Elon Musk has asked our students to go and do that, and that's where it comes in under design thinking. So they'll design all their things on Mars, and then we'll add the VR and AR onto that. So hopefully that's when we'll catch up with Brian's school and maybe have a few fires and feel some Mars quakes coming on there, Brian.
Sounds good. I look forward to shaking our students a little bit.
Yeah. So we might invite you guys to come and join us, or anyone else that wants to join us at the end of the day or something, see what they've come up with.
Well,
or we'll maybe we'll put it on the website.
Well, why don't you just share it in Kai's Clan and just let everyone know the time, and then we can all view it online.
Oh, that could be a possibility. We'll have to talk about that one. Because there's a privacy issue with students and getting permission for that. So
yeah. Okay. Also, just a side note around about Mars. In New Zealand, we're running the New Zealand Space Race, and we're going to try and, Karen, we're going to try and figure something out for Australia. But that's been judged by the head of education for NASA in the US. So we're very grateful that we've got some amazing people, including yourselves, who are, following this story with Kai's Clan. So I really appreciate that.
Okay, so we've got a winner. See, I'm on prizes. I do giveaways. And the one with, I think it was Belinda Watson.
Well done. Congratulations, Belinda.
So we will get your address from Karen, and you'll be getting one of these little LED badges. So
with your name on it. And your name won't be Bruce either.
no. And then yes, you know, if anybody's interested, just give us a call. There's resellers in Australia, MTA, CVSoft, those guys, you know, they do it if you've got, or we've got warehouse, so we also sell direct. So yeah.
Sounds great. So is there any questions from the people that left at 20 to 9 at night?
20 to 11 at night.
Well, yeah, depending on which side of the ditch you're on. Yes.
Well, we have to pack because tomorrow we're going to Taupo to go and film one of the space race schools. So we're doing
cool.
It's
I'll be
nice.
excited to see
It's
that.
nice down there.
Yeah. Very good.
ICT in New South Wales might have to have a study tour to New Zealand.
Sounds good.
Anytime.
It might be the only country we can go to for a while.
This is true. As if we can get out of our own state.
I want to go.
All right. So, well, if there's no questions and we've answered.
Linda Watson asked a question.
Oh, sorry.
She asked, do the smaller packs come in a case?
Oh,
And she also wants to come to New Zealand.
I will put it out to the whole ICT in your community, I think, if we do a study tour.
We'll have a Kai's Clan conference in New Zealand.
so the Belinda, the smaller pack comes in a box. Sorry, it looks like that. Can you see behind us? And a nice sturdy box. And it's the 12 classroom kit that comes in the Pelican case. It's a big box, bigger than Bruce. Well, that's quite easy, but anyway.
I'd like to see Bruce carry the 12 pack like that.
Yeah.
Those 12 packs are
However, you can get go to Bunnings for that box and put the box in one of those carry
Another
cases from
box.
Bunnings for not too much.
box, not a box.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate
Thank you heaps.
appreciate your support. And Brian, Adrian, Karen, and Helen. Helen is joining us as well. She got some kits, so she's going to start playing soon. So thank you very, very much, everybody.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. And Ronel and Bruce, I really do appreciate the fact that it's 20 to 11 over there and you're still with us. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And let's keep working out how we best engage students and strike their, or in, what's the word I want to look for? Hit their creative juices and do some design thinking and systems thinking and some computational thinking, all wrapped up into one great package. So yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. I've got a joke. You probably heard it. And I'm bad at jokes. I was told this one today. So who's the naughty person out of the Spice Girls? Oh no, this joke is terrible. I've done it the wrong way around. Oh,
I knew.
how's it going?
He's a dad joke teller as well.
Oh, Gloria.
We'll just put it down to it's really late in New Zealand.
Oh. Yeah, it was supposed to be a COVID joke about Victoria being the bad state.
Don't go there.
Let's not pick on our Victorian friends. They're doing it tough. So
It's tough. I know. Look,
we just got told we've got another week in level 2.5. So we still, yeah.
what is 2.5?
yeah.
Auckland is in 2.5. The rest of the country is in 2. So that just means we can't have more than 10 people in Auckland. But if you leave Auckland, then you can go up to 100.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, we've still got a couple of small cases coming through every day. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, it was lovely meeting everybody. And thanks for joining.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, Australia.
Good night.
Bye, New Zealand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.